Hello and welcome back to part 2 of trying to cobble together a side hustle business using ChatGPT. And it has made a lot of progress, but it's been quite difficult. Difficult for the fact that we've got to put in place some activation keys so that people can download the content from the website, and then they have to somehow put in a daily activation key that they pay for on a daily basis if they want to keep using these digital displays that we're going to be producing. I've also made one example. It's a fortune teller, and you'll see that probably about 5 minutes down the line. So here we go. First of all, planning the activation keys. Go.
Right, let's get to it. So, ChatGPT has suggested that the content that gets downloaded by the stallholders is somehow activated by a temporary key. Now, ChatGPT suggested also that these keys should have an expiry time of 1 week, but I'm going to make it daily because, well, it's easier. After I've been playing around a bit, and I think a daily key is easier. So let's assume that we want a display about a fortune teller, or like Zoltar the fortune teller to be more specific, and it's one that I'm working on, which I'll show you in a little while. So the stallholder downloads it, and we need to put in the key. So the stallholder will pay £1, let's say £1 to start with, and once their payment has been received, they will receive the temporary key, which they can then enter into the screen. Now, we can't just enter any number. If we enter any number like so, it becomes invalid. Okay, it won't let you through to the actual application unless you type in a valid key that is only active for 1 day, for the day of purchase. So the key needs to be constantly cycled. Now, this is a whole new ballgame to me, so I asked ChatGPT to explain it or give me a little bit more logic, and to be fair, it did a good job, but it was a little bit above my head. So rather than jumping at the deep end, I am easing myself in gently in how to generate a key. So first of all, we need a daily key. So we're gonna the number that gets produced is going to be based on the day. Okay, the day of purchase. Okay, so the day of purchase. So somehow we've got to figure out a way of incorporating that, and then I started going down that rabbit hole and keeping it nice and simple again. We're going to go with the number of the day within the year. So the number of the day in the year. So January the 1st would be 1, January the 2nd would be 2, and so on and so forth. So we can easily work that out. So we have the day, we'll call it the day number. Okay, so we have the day number within the year. Okay, and that will instantly allow us to do a check in the software whether it tallies with what the application thinks is the day of the year, the current day of the year. So if the two match, we know that the activation key has been purchased on that day for that day. I'm going to add on a few random numbers, seemingly random numbers. Okay, random numbers, which will then tie, these numbers will then tie that key to this application, because ChatGPT wants us to do a range of products covering all sorts of different topics and styles to suit all, basically. So the next, so the series of numbers as well that we're going to generate will tie it to this application. So that was a really good suggestion from ChatGPT, because it ensures that a license key bought for a fortune teller cannot be used on, say, I don't know, a Pokemon themed visual or application. So they're non-transferable, which is really, really good. So yeah, so the day number, and we take into consideration the numbers which tie it to the application, and then I was going to do like a check digit at the end. Now this is the bit I'm still working on, but a check digit will ensure that if somebody was able to fluke this bit or fluke and guess this bit correctly, that when it's all factored in, we'll put it through a mathematical equation and output will pop a check digit on the end, just to make sure everything is correct. And like I said, I'm still developing this bit. So here we have the activation screen. So when we fire up the one of our applications, this is the sort of thing we'll be greeted with. Don't worry about the design, it's still in trial basis. So what we're going to do, if we need to buy an activation key, so what we can do, we can scan it like so, and what that does, that takes us through to the Pop Culture Promo PayPal site where we can pay £1. So if I start paying £1 for this, so bear with me, it will eventually take me to a screen where, a second, here, again, doesn't look very pretty, it basically just does the job. So we can see here that we've got a thank you for payment, and we have our license key 10117. Okay, 10117. So if I do like I don't know, 32167, it's invalid. Okay, so I'm going to type in the actual one and see what happens. So 10117 accepted, and it goes into our app. So perfect, it's doing the job. I just need to work on the check digit. But that's how far I've got so far. That's the temporary license key functionality coming on nicely. Right, so everything you see here has been thought up, planned and written by ChatGPT. It came up with the concept of providing nice animations, interactive playable displays that can sit quite happily on someone's stall at a Comic-Con or a science fiction convention, for example. And I just want to show you how the activation keys work. So we've downloaded from the website a fortune teller display. Okay, and as soon as we boot it up, we are greeted by this screen here. Now, it's telling us to point our camera at the QR code, so we're going to do that. And once we do that, it takes us to this payment page. Okay, so we have to, at the minute, pay £1. So this is a daily rate. Once payment has been received, it will issue a daily activation key. So when I make my payment, it's going to take me to this page here. Okay, it's issued me with my daily activation key. Now, 10547 is what is tied to this particular piece of software on this particular piece of day. And this was written by ChatGPT, and we're looking at putting in an extra checksum on the end of this activation key just to make it a bit more secure, so people can't really guess or get really lucky at trying to spoof the system. So anyway, let me enter it. 10547 105. I'm going to say 37 or 66. It's invalid, so I've deliberately entered it incorrectly. So now I'm going to enter it correctly. 10547, and there you go. And this is the fortune teller animation that we can download and activate through the keys, and it's just designed to grab people's attention. Okay, I'll turn up the volume a little bit. There we go. It's designed to grab people's attention. If we press it, like so, just like a proper fortune teller, which I've made in my garage, by the way. He will issue a fortune. Believe me when I tell you, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Well, there you go. Some of the fortunes or words of wisdom that he dispenses are quite dark, actually. It's quite funny. And I'm going to add a section where you can add your own fortunes in. We have a settings menu, so we can change the music if we wanted to. We can also have him talking on rotation. So again, this is all designed to grab the attention as people walk by your store at a Comic-Con, for example. So now the music has changed. I prefer this version. I prefer this type of music, but it's still nice to have a choice. So you can configure the software to however you like it set up. And here he goes.
Listen closely. Live life to the full, and remember, it is better to have loved and lost than live with a cycle forever.
There we go. So that's a quick demo of the activation keys that will be applied to all animations and all interactive displays that are available on the website eventually, and also a quick run through of our first Pop Culture Promo downloadable interactive display, which I think is really cool. It's taken a lot of work to get this far, even with ChatGPT's help. So yeah, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from it and start planning my next one. But now the infrastructure is there, I can just start building assets and throwing them in for people to download and activate using a daily activation key that they can purchase from the QR code, as you saw. But there you go. Pop Culture Promo. It's going well.
So we have something in place, and that's really good. It's not quite there yet, but it's close. We have a system or a framework that works basically. At the minute, I've got my display stand, and ChatGPT actually suggested that we supply these or rent them. I'm not too keen on renting them because I want little involvement as possible when this goes up and gets up and running. So maybe we can sort of do like an affiliated link system where we can still get money should people want to purchase these. So with the domain and the display stand that we've purchased, the budget is currently at £58.22, and I'm very conscious about the money that I'm spending at the minute, because we basically want as much money left over in the pot as possible at the end so that we can throw it all at marketing. But at the minute, my £80 has been diminished down to £58.22. Because this was quite a traumatic process, found it difficult. I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to park this idea for a little while and maybe work on some digital displays, some assets that we can put on the website to download. Just rekindle the fun and excitement again, because this has badly bruised my brain. But anyway, there you go. Part 2 done. The end.